Well, this week could shake up the Republican presidential race with a nationally televised debate, a test vote in Iowa, and Texas Governor Rick Perry possibly making an announcement. Time to let the Willis watchdogs out. Mike Needham is the CEO of Heritage Action in D.C. Susan Slavic is the CEO and co-founder of It'sYourBiz.com. And Andy Levy is an ombudsman for Red Eye on the Fox News channel. Mike, let's start with you. What do you make of this?
Well, for all the reasons you listed, this is going to be a big week for the Republican primary process. I don't think any of us have an idea what it's going to look like 1 week from now. What we do know is President Obama has made it pretty clear it's going to be a nasty general election. There was an article this morning in Politico, an Inside the Beltway newspaper, that said he's going to spend the $1 billion that he raised and that he is raising attacking whoever the Republican nominee is, going after character assassination, since he doesn't feel he can run on his record of accomplishments given where the economy is. And other factors across the country.
Mike, I don't even think he got $1 billion. I think he's had trouble in the last few weeks really getting the numbers they thought he would get.
Well, that's his goal, and certainly all of the both inside and outside organizations that are out there are going to raise a lot of money. Right. We haven't been able to have a conversation in Washington about the serious ideas that the House of Representatives has proposed, the Ryan budget, which was passed in April. Instead, the Democrats, both in the Senate and in the White House, have said, we're not going to talk about serious ideas, we're just going to attack.
Well, Susan, small business people just must be going crazy with the markets, with the government, with the straw poll. Where is your head at?
Well, I tell you what, though, when it comes to Rick Perry, they are going to like him as a candidate. Texas has one of the best environmental climates for entrepreneurism. And right now, Governor Perry understands how to create an environment for private enterprise. This country needs a solid foundation for private enterprise to thrive, not to be struggling. And if we don't have that environment, small businesses, that is the economic recovery engine that's going to make this happen.
They might hire a person or two.
I tell you, that's it. Right now, this whole thing with the debt ceiling, the Standard & Poor's downgrading, small businesses are saying, you know what, I am panicked. Things were bad, now they're really bad. And how are we supposed to hire people and reinvest in our companies when this is the way the economy is? Rick Perry will get their vote.
Well, here's the thing. Rick Perry's doing really well. He's polling really well as a non-candidate. The question is, once he declares, which he probably will soon, does he continue to do well? Candidates are a lot of times a lot better in the abstract than they are in reality. I think you could talk to Rudy Giuliani and Fred Thompson about that. Possibly even Tim Pawlenty, who people thought was going to be the front runner or near the front runner, who's polling really badly right now. As far as Iowa goes, my guess is Bachmann will do well in the straw poll, and Ron Paul probably will too. And it will be absolutely meaningless to everyone except the media.
They call them the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
Well, it's just this straw poll means nothing. It's absolutely meaningless, except it gives us something to talk about.
Well, that's not nothing, Andy.
But I think the recall elections in Wisconsin that have started today are far more important in terms of gauging what we pundits like to call the mood of the electorate, Jerry.
That sounded really smart.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Michigan is removing 30,000 college students from its food assistance program, welfare. According to the Detroit News, the removals should bring about $75 million a year in savings. Andy, I thought this was a fascinating story. I didn't know college students could get, food assistance.
Yeah, it's hard to believe a state that made nearly all its college students eligible for food stamps has an economy that's in the toilet, isn't it? The fact that they can eliminate 30,000 from these roles and still have a lot on those roles is it's mind-blowing to me.
Susan.
I tell you what, I just have to say, you know what, Michigan, you're just plain stupid. I mean, why would you do that? And then the second thing I have to say, though, is when did we become a population that is so entitled? Everybody's got their hand out. If the government's giving it, they're going to try to get it. And that really has to stop. And so whatever happened to the word work? Is that a dirty four-letter word in this country now? I don't get it. I worked my way through college. Why can't they?
But, Mike, I think there are people out there who are probably thinking, boy, those people, they're mean. They're mean to college students. They're mean to kids. Are we picking on college students too much here?
No, well, that's the attack that the left and people who support these programs always go. We spend $1 trillion in this country on welfare each year. That's more than we spend on national defense. There's 45 million people on welfare in this country. And when you look at them, 4 out of 5 people on welfare have more than one TV in their home. A third of people on welfare have a game system attached to that TV. We have a huge problem in this country in terms of what we're spending, and we're spending it on a lot of people who don't need it. We need more self-reliance. As Susan said, we need more people who are going out there, getting jobs, get a part-time job while you're in college. We can't afford to pay welfare, as Michigan was, to somebody who won the state lotto. That makes no sense.
All right. Well, Mike, Susan, Andy, thanks for your help tonight. Really appreciate it.